Hello everyone, I'm super happy today. I'm doing a small interview with Jacky Show, which is a really great SEO on the English YouTube. I don't know if you know it, most probably some French people are looking now, and I guess you need to discover a little bit. How are you doing, Jacky, today?
Good. Appreciate you hopping on so late in Asia.
Yeah. We have like almost a 12-hour difference time now, considering you're in Vancouver and I'm here in Chiang Mai. But that's good. That's good. We finally find a good time to have this interview, so I'm quite happy about it. First question I got is like it's a starting question, because I start to follow your Build in Public series of video quite at the beginning, and I was wondering because I checked back your first episode recently, and I was like, you were starting the adult related stuff at the beginning, and I was wondering if that was a synchronization, like you decide to synchronize the beginning of your Build in Public related stuff with the adult content related. Did you just like it was a random stuff that happened and end up being the same day?
The adult revenue source is because I thought it was like a good starting point just to keep track of something, because it just started and I've always wanted to try out videos, and then I just did it and it's been good so far.
Okay. That's good. And so initially you were not at all like you were a little bit in all this, video related stuff and a bit like being an infopreneur and like, kind of the way of like trading and like selling service and stuff like that. But you really like, I don't know, jump into it quickly and violently. Was it like something that you really want to do since a long time, or was it like something that you were hesitating about, or like what the wish and the path of thinking about that?
You mean entrepreneurship or mostly in the video side?
No, video side, not the
The video
entrepreneur side.
side.
Yeah, most of the stuff like influencing.
Yeah, I think on the Twitter side, I've always done it. On the video side, I thought the podcast was enough, but then I guess not, because the daily videos had a larger impact than the podcast, because no one really wants to watch like an hour-long podcast. So a couple people in the industry told me that I should get into video, and I tried it, and it's been good so far. So it's not something I've always wanted to do. It's actually, I didn't want to do it, but because it's profitable now, I just keep doing it. So it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. And I think that's like different type of people that will watch a 1 hour podcast and that will watch you daily, 10 minutes daily. And it's like, 10 minutes of wisdom of Jacky in the morning.
It might be too much, Jacky. Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's the people that check you every morning, or it's more like people check you, I don't know, once a week or twice a week, or do you have this type of data?
I think it was like, at this point, it's 60 something percent of recurring viewers are like coming back. So it's a lot. But I don't know what's every day or every week, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but then I see the same like names who comment on a daily basis at this point. Maybe like 10 or 20 every day. Yeah.
The engaged people are like kind of always the same. Yeah, I guess so. And
yeah, exactly.
Other part of the advice community, the few engaged people that you have.
How many people do we have in the advice community? About 350, a bit more than 350 at this point. Yeah.
Okay, and so so typically you were saying that the video were profitable that you do on a daily basis. Do you mean that they're profitable because they like gain some people, like you get some people in the advice community thanks to the video, or do you mean that they're profitable from other sources of revenues?
Other sources as well. So my funnel goes like Twitter, YouTube, newsletter, advice community, and then partnerships. And I partner up with people in the advice community. So it's crazy. Because people who do sign up for the advice community, they're typically much better SEOs than the people who just follow on Twitter. And then if you partner with them, it's crazy. Like there's a couple I would say like net worth 50 mil plus in the advice community that I'm working with. They're, like insane. So we're just working together now and trying to figure something out.
And so when you're speaking about this partnership that you do, like you're more on the partnership like you were mentioning at the beginning, like launching affiliate in subfolder on big domains, or you're more like in partnerships, like you make some deal with them about like, I don't know, building links via Indexy or like other type of partnership again?
Every type. So we have the subdirectories for sure. We got a couple there. We have a couple SaaS businesses. So revive.so, I started with someone from the advice community. That's going good. Not crazy. It does like 3 to 4K a month MRR. It's not like, wow, that's amazing, but it's still money,
but
right?
That's good. Yeah.
I think that's good in most people's eyes. So we'll take that.
Yeah. And especially like SaaS multiply like, I don't know, 5 or something like that. So it's like good selling price and everything like at the end, you know.
It's decent. Yeah. And there's several people who want to start directories with me. I'm working with one guy on directories. So there's so many ways that people can work together. There's people who like just resell my services, they just resell local SEO and then they just buy my white label service and they just resell it. There plenty of ways to make money together, I think.
Okay, good. Speaking about partnership of the subfolders, so that's typically a strategy that I used to see so much because I was in the gambling affiliate industry, and it's like so common there. Yeah. And so my question was like, how did you secure the first one? Because the first one is always the weirdest to get, because you have to explain it to somebody, and generally you don't have a lot of to show off, about that, and it's like a bit weird, and to secure this type of deal, and generally you just like build a WordPress on the subfolder, and it's like you have a site in the site and everything, so it's a bit messed up. How did you manage this first one to be set up?
First one ever, like first was probably you guys can check it out. It's like fool.com. It's the Ascent. So they were actually a client of ours. So instead of revenue share before, they were just paying us a retainer. I think it was something small. It was like 10K a month, and then we helped them build out the subfolder. Like we consulted, like, oh, you should, I don't know, the head page should be you trying to rank for best credit card, and then we'll have like another subfolder under that for like best credit card for business, something like that. And then we saw after, because we were the, how do I say, the SEO team behind that, and then we saw that they grew from 1 person to like 50 people just for that subfolder. I was like, man, fuck, we should have like took an upside. And then fast forward to, this was 2 years ago, and then in I think August, there was like a VC backed startup that reached out to us. They're like, yo, Jacky, we're about to run out of money. We raised like freaking $50 million. We're about to run out of money. We need to monetize right now. But we have, we're making 10K a month on AdSense. We have 2 million hits a month right now. Can you help us? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we'll just take the upside. So like I just slapped on, I think Mediavine immediately. That's like 100K a month. So we split that. So 50-50. So it's like 50K a month. Plus we did affiliate revenue on that. We got to like 300-400K super quickly. And then unfortunately we got clapped because I was too vocal about everything.
Yeah.
I'm like 99% certain if I didn't talk about it, we'd still be around, like 99%.
Do you regret sometimes like being too vocal about all the stuff that you done and like being clapped during those recent updates?
If I wasn't vocal, would I get these deals though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, for sure. That's what, like,
I don't know.
I think I would most probably not regret, but
yeah, probably
like,
not, because we have, like I did, what is it, 500K a month for maybe 4 or 5 months. I don't think I would have gone there without being vocal about it. And I was like the first. I know this has been around for a while, especially in gambling space. Maybe I know a couple Germans who used to do it with newspapers. But if I like just keep talking about it, people will think of me as like the partnerships guy. So if they have a partner, they'll just come to me. So that's why I've been able to keep closing new partners every single time. And we still have new partners right now, and they're still working, which is crazy.
That's a crazy idea, you know, because like you really specialize in one thing where you need somebody, and it's like every time like somebody think about like, oh, I have that and he needs it, you know, and that's like so good way to do deals, and especially when you are like super vocal about some stuff like that, you come in the mind of people like super quickly. And right now I'm doing that in link building in France, because like link building in France is kind of super well developed. And by the way, I want to ask you, so did you start out with Indexy selling links? That was your initial first thing, or like your initial first big thing, or like what was the point of that in your career?
Indexy initially was an SEO agency, so but then what I found was, because after a while I didn't want to take on retainer clients, so we set the bar pretty high, like 5K a month minimum. So people were like, oh, we can't afford that right now, sorry. But I needed something to downsell them if they can't afford us. So I wanted to be like, oh, just buy our links instead. You know what I mean? So that's why we have a link building agency right now. We still take SEO clients, but not on Indexy side, is on version. So we spun out an agency in hopes of probably selling that, because I don't plan on selling Indexy ever. So
Indexy is like your like the agency of your heart, no, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no way I sell Indexy. There's like no amount of money.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Generally, some people like, you know, I know right now the tendency in terms of like, I don't know, business mindset is really about focusing some business model and focusing one type of business model and like pushing it, you know, and optimizing for it and like continuing only in that and avoid diversification. And I think that you're like kind of more diversified guy. So I was wondering, like, are you more diversified because you want to be diversified and because you want to be like to explore new stuff and everything, or are you more diversified because you think it's more like, you know, it makes more sense in business, or you just jump on more opportunities? What is your view on that?
I think diversification in SEO is required for like risk management. We've seen so many times, especially, I don't know about on the French Twitter side, but on like the English Twitter side, a lot of like the niche site people, they have maybe most of the time, I would say 95% of their net worth on a single website. And then we saw what happened to them. They were completely wiped out. Like negative 90% traffic overnight from, was that helpful content update? I don't know if it's helpful content update.
But, that's the one that
they got completely crushed. Even what was it, Retro Dodo, Brandon from Retro Dodo, they went from 500K a month volume to like 10K, and then now they recovered, but they're only at 80K a month. You know what I mean?
I saw so much of it like, we're recovering, and it's like, but you still like, I don't know, 20% only from what you were initially. So it's like, kind of
so recovery. It's like, my reason for diversification is because I've been fucking, sorry, I can't swear, right? Clapped so many times. Yeah. Mostly because I've been so vocal, and mostly because of the tactics I employ are very aggressive most of the time. So diversification is like the only way I can probably sleep at night. It's required.
The funny thing is that most of the people, when they told me about like risk management, I'm like, risk management. I know what you mean. Risk management is like, you know, general stuff. But when you speak about risk management, I'm like, no, he knows the shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's different when you're talking about risk management on like 5K a month versus 500K a month. You know, if I didn't manage my risk properly, my drop wouldn't be from 500K to 230K. It would be like 500K to freaking 10K a month right away, like immediately overnight. So yeah, that's the whole reason behind it.
I had one question about like all the high and lows in terms of revenues, because like from like typically the big partnership that you get that were like rising so high, and the lowest that you had as well, there's like a big margin. And like I personally, I was like head of SEO, but as an employee doing a lot of time. So I'm just discovering entrepreneurship right now, you know, and I'm like discovering the high and lows and everything. And it's affecting me so much in terms of mental health. You know, I'm like, I'm fucked up, I'm a shit and everything. And the day after I was like, I'm a king, you know, I make some money and everything.
Yeah.
And so all of that is affecting you, and like, you know, going from 500 to 200K, like it's still like a big jump. And on the other side as well, you know, when you are doing, I don't know, 100K and you jump to 500, how good it affects you, how bad it affects you, and how do you manage all of that?
To not get, so I would say I attribute my ability to take money off the table to like my crypto degeneracy days. So, you know, when you go from, let's say, I think I was at 80K a month this time, February last year, 80K. And then I got lucky and discovered partnerships, quote unquote. And then it freaking 5x. That feeling from going from 80K a month to 500K a month is so euphoric. You feel like you're the king of the world. But then this, like, that feeling is not like the first time I had this feeling. I had this feeling when Bitcoin was 48K the first run. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at that time, you have to be able to identify that, okay, I need to cut back expenses. I don't need to inflate my lifestyle. I need to be able to take money off the table. Let's say when you were making 80K a month, your expenses were 20K. Then at 500K, you need to try to still keep it at 20K because the next day it could be gone. So you need to like really have, how do I say, you have to be responsible, save that money put that away for like a rainy day. In the back of my mind, I'm still trying to quote unquote retire as soon as possible, because this industry is definitely on the downhill. It's not like a very strong industry right now. Yeah.
I know what you mean about that. Like I can feel that in some ways as well. What is your number for retirement? What is your goal?
It's 10 million US, but then I read, I don't know if do you know Andrew Wilkinson from Twitter?
Yeah.
From tiny.com.
Yeah.
He just came out with a book. I just read the first chapter last night. It's and his first chapter is called "What is Your Number?" And their number is everyone's number is always double of their current net worth. And 10 million is roughly double what I have right now, just a bit under double, but then it's just double. So I don't know. I could probably retire right now because at a take rate of 3 to 4%, at let's say $6 million, 180K a year, I could probably live off of that, right? Like most people can. I don't know why I'm striving for double my net worth, but that's currently my number. Might be subject to change, you know?
Yeah. Did you add the numbers like before? Did you decide the number like recently, or like, because personally I was like I had the same type of like question about like what is my number and everything, and it was like I was super young, so when I decided what was like, you know, a big amount of money for me was like 600K 700K, something like that. And like, I don't know, 1 year ago I was like, okay, I will raise it to like 1 million. And recently I'm like, perhaps 1.5 or 2 million will be needed, you know, and I'm like increasing the number every time I'm making more money. So do you have like the whole number and you're increasing it bit by bit as well? Or it's more like...
Yeah, I did increase it.
Yeah.
My initial number when I started tracking my net worth in January 2021 was 5 million. And then I hit that. So I just doubled it.
Yeah.
The book says that. So I did it. I don't know why I did it, but it's just maybe I'll double it when I'm at 10 mil. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
hopefully you will retire. Hopefully, if you want, you know, you will retire at some point.
Yeah, I think my version of retirement might not be not working. I think it might be just, I don't know, taking a step back from certain aspects that I don't like about SEO, like client work, for example. We're still taking clients because it still pays, I don't know, like mid 5 figures a month. Like, how do we say no to that money? Especially when I keep getting clapped, right? So that's the only thing that's saving me most of the time when I get rocked by Google is the client work. Yeah.
And you don't like it? What is your favorite part of SEO? Because personally, I'm like, okay, I start to do client work and I like it, you know, like I strangely, weirdly, I like it, unlike most of the SEOs. But yeah, I do like it, and I think if I retire, I will keep only this part. You know, what is your favorite part and the part that you want to keep as an SEO?
Definitely the testing. I like testing new services, products, so on and so forth. People are so secretive in this industry, in SEO, super secretive. And I don't know why. Well, and I do know why, because most of the people in SEO don't actually make any money. They just say they do. I've seen the sites that a lot of the influencers own, and they're all rocked. They're like at zero at this point. So I don't know why they're allowed to talk about anything at this point, because they don't make any money. It's crazy out here.
It's like, you know, it's easy to jump on the influence stuff when you're not making money on your site. Like you don't have time for your site and everything. Anyway, you know, you're not making money on your site, so you can jump on the influence stuff. It's like it's more lucrative anyway than your own site, so it's easier.
Yeah. I try not to get caught up in that, but it's starting because the advice community is paying well already. It's starting to pay very well. But I don't want to be the guy that, I don't know, the SEO community guy. You know what I mean? I want to be the guy who actually tests stuff and reports what's working and what's not. That makes a lot of money doing so. That's what I want to be doing.
Perfect. Speaking about traveling, you traveled a lot during your life, I feel, and I checked recently some a morning that you spoke about the place that you would wish to live with 2K amounts, and I was surprised to not see Thailand in this list. I was like, man, do you hate Thailand or like what the fuck? Because it's the perfect place to live with cheap money, you know?
Yeah. I don't like Thai food as much as I like Vietnamese food. I just like Vietnamese food more. And Thailand has, how do I say, their economy is more westernized. So let's say you go to Phuket, right? You visit any store, they're going to have the standard cheeseburger, pizza, sandwich, so on and so forth. Maybe pad thai. In Vietnam, you'll eat whatever they give you. You know what I mean? They have one dish on the menu, and you'll just eat that. It's like unapologetically Vietnamese, whereas Thailand is more like they're catering, less authentic, I think, is what I'm looking
It's convenient.
for.
Thailand is convenient, man. And like, yeah, I know what you mean. And speaking about food,
that's why.
You spoke as well about European food, and I was so mad that you, like, you know, you were like, Spanish food is good, I can eat Spanish food, Portuguese is okay, Italian is good, and you were not speaking about French, and you were like, no, French, I don't feel like I can do it daily, and I was like, man, the best cook in the world, and you can't eat it daily, and I was mad at you, man.
No, don't be mad. I think French food is good. It's just not something I can eat every day. Like, I think the only French food I can eat every day is probably like brasserie food. I guess that is more daily food, right?
That's the best,
that is okay. That's okay for me. But like when we go to, let's say, Paris, people always recommend, oh yeah, you got to try these Michelin restaurants, dude. Man, fuck those things, man. It's disgusting. Like, I'm not trying to eat 24 courses over the span of 4 hours and then like eat someone's smoke. You know what I mean? Like that is not interesting to me. I want to be full after a meal. That's why.
Yeah. Now, the brasserie food is the best, I think, in France. Like, the good point is that there is brasserie everywhere, and like in all of them you will find like slightly different but slightly same style of food, and all of them is really good every time. So it's like diverse and good and everything. But Michelin related stuff and like, you know, high standard and everything, I don't like it that much as well. I prefer the, like, you know, OG one.
Yeah. If it's any consolation, I think the best bakeries in the world are in France. So
thank you.
there's that. because
That's a
I
good
was in
consolation.
Germany for several years, and they love their bread there. But I think the French has better bakeries.
Okay, good. That's like, yeah, that comforts me a bit. Thank you for that.
Yeah, hopefully. No.
You launched a lot of different projects, as we discussed already. And what was the most successful one of all of them? Do you consider it was the one with the VC backed startup, the partnership with this one?
Yes. Mostly because of the sheer amount of revenue we were able to drive so quickly. There's a couple other ones that, like newspaper sites that we partnered with, that are still going strong. But nothing was at the scale of what we had before. So to give you a sense, it went from 0 to 500K in 2 months, and it stayed there for like a couple months. It was insane. And most of the revenue, which I talked about in the past, but it's not from affiliate, it's not from ads, it was from like rank and rents, like retail rank and rents.
Really?
And I think there's a huge market for that people aren't utilizing properly. Yeah, it's like you were in the iGaming space, right? So let's say I rank for best Bitcoin casino.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a cut of people's deposits, I will just say, all right, it's a free market now. Casinos can go bid on first number one slot. You want, how much do you want to pay to be number one?
All of them do that, and I think generally
we got up to 50K per. It's crazy.
Yeah. God, that's like huge. I didn't think it was like the biggest share of that was the rank and rent. You know, I think it was like, I don't know, generally in gambling, I think it's like 30% of something like that, which is a bit the renting space. But I didn't think it would be that much on the 500K.
Yeah, because if you rank in a competitive industry, they just have a lot of funding. And especially in the space we were working with, which was like health and supplements, there's just a lot of VC money in there. It's just we'll take it, you know.
Yeah, it's like free money, unlimited money. Speaking a bit SEO, you did a lot of live as well on RuneScape. And in France we have like our own RuneScape, which is called Dofus. You know, it's like all French game where all the French people played, and there's like only French people and a few people of like Brazil and Chile and some stuff like that, but mostly French people. And I think there is like a fucking big correlation between like the people that played so much at this type of game where you can optimize so much and like spend some time and grinding, and some people being like super successful in online business. And I don't know, I feel that you're proof of that, you know.
Yeah, I think grinding, like MMORPGs, they enable, they how do I say, identify people who are willing to grind. And RuneScape's one of those really grindy games, so yeah, there's like a certain profile of people who will probably succeed, who are doing well in RuneScape. And there's probably a huge group of people who are addicted to RuneScape and can't stop right now, who'd probably be a killer at entrepreneurship.
If they will
they're
stop,
just probably still stuck in their games. So it works both ways. Yeah, it works both ways. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. I think the good part is like, you know, an SEO that starts to do like to make big money in the online stuff, he will most probably not go back to being addicted to RuneScape. Normally, that's like an only one way kind of path, you know.
Yeah. It's you can't go back to that, because if you start entrepreneurship and then you're addicted to video games, like I play a lot of video games right now, I don't see how anyone can be doing any work, because it takes so much time. Yeah, exactly. It takes way too much time.
Are you playing RuneScape right now, or like are you playing other games? Or
no, I don't play RuneScape right now. As you probably noted, I stopped streaming it mostly because I just don't want to. I've been playing League of Legends more now. Yeah, probably several hours a day now at night. It's pretty bad.
That's unhealthy, you know. So, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, it's bad, but it's all right. I mean, I still go to the gym. I hit my cardio every day. I still get my work done, most of it. And I just smash through the work in the morning, and then at night I just do whatever I want. It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, good, good, good. I guess you travel a lot and you like met a lot of SEO in a lot of different countries. And I had one question because I don't know a lot of people that met a lot of different SEO from different countries. And do you have like one country that you think, or few countries that you think that the SEO are really good there, or few countries that you think that the SEO are like completely out of shape and not in the right direction right now here? Like, what is your best SEO countries according to you?
Best SEO countries. I think a surprise in terms of best SEOs are the Vietnamese community. I think it's something about their culture. They're kind of crazy. They're like really like straight killers. They employ the most black hat techniques. I bought several niche sites from them in the past, and it's just like dudes with, I don't know, they're just like dudes who have really shitty content, and then they're able to generate like 20K a month on Amazon affiliates, and then they don't monetize better, stuff like that. They're like straight killers over there. I don't know how they do it. And they're always doing like some sort of paid ad arbitrage as well. Vietnamese people, I think, are straight killers. I don't know what is in the water over there, but they're pretty crazy there.
Yeah, recently I checked out like some faceless YouTube guy that was like speaking about faceless YouTube and everything, and he was like, yeah, everybody here on Twitter likes my content and think I'm like really good in what I do, but you don't know about Vietnamese people. And I was like, yeah, what again? They're like dominating SEO in a shady way and dominating like faceless YouTube in the shady way. And it's like, it seems that every business that you can run without showing your face, they're like, killer on it, and they have like good way of shortcutting and like getting their way into it.
Yeah, and I think it's also because they're able to leverage manpower very well, because their minimum wage there is like 250, 300 US a month or something like that. So if you just employ someone locally, it's game over. They have a really developed like TikTok shop ecosystem there too. So they're very tech forward, despite being communist, and they have an open like economy. So I think it's really powerful what people there can do. I wish I knew Vietnamese so I can employ some of the people there. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have to find a Vietnamese manager that will manage the Vietnamese team for you. But I feel that you need to be like born here and like know the codes and everything to manage a business properly from Vietnam.
Yeah. And man, the people I met there are crazy. There's several like huge Shopify app developers there too, like massive, like mid 6-figure MRR type of like software houses just out of Hanoi. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just like SEO is just such a small part of it.
Yeah, SEO is like I think when I started, I was like, yes, that's so big, and like people are making big money and everything, and like more you grow, more you realize it's just like one small stuff, around like a big atmosphere, which is the web, big atmosphere, which is like acquisition, overall big stuff, and like when you check about Amazon, for example, they don't care about SEO, man. They have like one guy who managed the SEO for the whole Europe stuff, and they're like everything is automated, and they don't care, and it's like so small in their mind, and it's not important for them. And it's like my whole life, and it's like, yeah, we are not living in the same world in terms of priorities and everything. So it was crazy when I realized, and I'm realizing it, that SEO is such small compared to all the other type of businesses.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you go to those like affiliate summit, affiliate world, the people with like the most baller tables at the clubs at those nights, at the parties, they're not SEOs. Honestly, SEOs are probably the poorest in those conferences. It's like the paid guys, the paid arbitrage, the black hat, display ads guys. It's those guys. Because I know a couple of people who run networks. They're like, SEO is like 10% of our 5% of our revenue. You know what I mean? They don't even care about it.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that I remember my old boss, he told me that like, the problem with like paid related stuff and arbitrage and everything is that you like maneuvering with like big amount of money, and you're making big amount of money, but it's just like a small percentage, on all the stuff that you invest and come back. And he was telling like the only problem is that if you deviate from your initial trajectory from like 1 degree, everything falls off, because like you're making so much good money and everything, but it's like on super big amount is like 1%, and at the end, if you just like switch, it cut, and you're not making money anymore, and like you lose everything that you made. But the thing is that when you made money, you made like really a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what I noticed too. I think what we have to do as SEOs better is probably just manage our profits a lot better. People tend to have like they bloat in terms of costs too quickly in SEO because there's so many tools, and I think SEOs just have to cut back on that quickly.
You think the first cost in SEO that tend to bloat is the tools in general, or like manpower, or like, I don't know, content or links or shit like that?
Probably manpower. What I notice is people bloat in manpower quickly, and then they don't notice it. And tools is something you can cut really quickly because, let's be real, we don't really use most tools every day. Probably just get away with once every couple months. So you could probably cut those tools. Manpower is too quick because the amount of work one person can do, you'd be surprised. So you could probably cut your VA headcount in half because half these VAs aren't working half the time. You know what I mean? So you cut half of them, and I'm sure you'll get the same amount of output.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, you just have to watch out on there.
Yeah, no problem. Totally understandable. And so I have a few last questions, and so I have two questions that I really want your thought on. Before the last one, that will be about the tiered links. So in the past, there were a lot of stuff and theories about like you have your money site and you link like T1, so your guest post and shit like that, and then you do like T2 and T3 and stuff like that, and you get more aggressive and everything. I used to use a lot of these techniques about like PBN and stuff like that in gambling, but to be honest, recently I felt that it's like not that efficient anymore, and I feel that you better just like be safe and play safe and like link massively your money sites with good guest posts than like doing all the PBN related shit, and it's kind of look aggressive and scary now. What are your thoughts on like tier links like that?
I think tiered links, at least from recent tests, and we're speaking on organic, not local SEO, right? Because local SEO tiered links fully work. You could definitely tier them. But if you're speaking on organic, like head terms, if I'm trying to rank for best Bitcoin casino, I think right now my strategy would be for tier 1 links to also target the same target keywords. So if your money site is trying to rank for best Bitcoin casino, your tier 1 links should be coming from sites that probably target similar keywords, and then you would probably try to rank those tier 1 links as well, if that makes sense. So my tier 1 links would be several articles trying to target best Bitcoin casino as well. And then my tier 2 links would be probably a lot safer than before, because I think tier 1 used to be like guest post, niche edits. Tier 2 was like GSA. Tier 3 was like blog comments before, right? And now I think it would be more like tier 1 would be something like guest posts, mostly, less so niche edits. And then tier 2 would be niche edits or PBNs trying to rank the tier 1s and add like a very non-aggressive anchor. Because I think right now on-page traffic is like a huge indicator for backlink quality. And that's what we're employing right now. That's why, do you remember, God, there was this one agency in the US that employed a ton of parasite SEO pages, and then they were all interlinked. So it would be like Outlook India, I don't know, MSN, and they were all interlinked. So Outlook India would link to MSN, MSN would link to Outlook India, plus like 3 other parasites. And this worked really well because all of them had traffic, and then they were just interlinked. And that's why I've been doing stuff more like that now. Even if the target keyword isn't, for the tier 1 links aren't best Bitcoin casino, and it's something like, I don't know, like a long tail informational keyword, but it has casino in it, I think that has more juice than like a niche edit nowadays. But yeah, we're still employing a lot of niche edits. It's just for diversity, but I think guest posts are the way to go. Guest posts on parasite sites, yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I even personally, even if the page of traffic on something like informational, but not even like directly casino related, for example, but just like, games related, like a new game on PS4 and everything. I feel that's already like kind of good stuff if he's ranking, top 3 on his queries and making some traffic and everything on the page. And it's always like already kind of better than like some guest posts that will be not ranking on any keywords and targeting like, best Bitcoin casino and stuff like that. I felt that like the marker of being ranking and getting traffic from Google is like really a big, good marker, because you have no fear of being the index. You have no fear of like, I don't know, being deconsidered or like being penalized or shit like that. It's like a white mark immediately,
Yeah, I think so. But you're saying that like less topical relevancy and more traffic is better than topical relevancy
and no traffic. Yeah, exactly.
I could see that. But I don't know if obviously topical relevancy plus traffic is better than that.
Yeah, that's the best.
I guess if you had to choose between, I think if you have to choose between the two, I guess that, yeah.
Okay, good. I get one last question. I noticed that you reference Sampa from My First Million in some videos, and I'm a big fan of My First Million personally. I think it's the perfect mix between like entertainment and like business insights and everything. It's like a good mix. Do you have like any good authors podcast that you like? Because I'm like definitely searching for some right now, and the thing is that in French we have like only shitty content, and in English I'm like, I don't know enough people in English that will advise me good content podcast.
I like the All In podcast as well, but they're like a different tier because they're all billionaires on that All In podcast. It's kind of crazy. If people are in D2C, I think the Operators podcast is pretty good. They're kind of funny. I don't listen to them too often. But yeah, My First Million is like the perfect combination between like entertainment and business. It's like funny to listen to, but at the same time you feel like you're learning something. I never take action on anything they talk about. It's just entertainment for me. Yeah, dude, it's just for fun, dude.
The good thing is that is the perfect length for cardio training. It's like 40 minutes to 1 hour, something like that. It's like when I'm running, I'm like, oh, perfect. This will be my running session.
Yeah, I go to the gym on their podcast. It's great.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, I think All In podcast is good if you're trying to like learn stuff about politics and like general economics side. That's like a really good knowledge-based one. But that one I can't go to the gym because I have to listen.
Yeah.
Just so I know what's going on in the world. But yeah, focused. And I like the Acquired podcast as well as a last one. Acquired podcast they do like a deep dive on each company. And I think if you're an investor in equities, probably give it a listen. I'd give the Bernard Arnault one a listen to, LVMH. You can see how much the French economy is tied to LVMH. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the luxury goods market. I'm pretty sure they control, like, no offense to you. I think that they control a lot of the policies in that country. It's pretty savage.
Yeah, I think so too. They're bringing so much money on the table, like it's like, I think in some ways they invest so much money in politics and everything. Is like they're controlling it in some ways, So yeah, totally agree on that.
Yeah.
So,
but those are my podcast listens at the moment.
Okay, good. Listen, Jacky, that was the last question that I had for you. It was really a pleasure to have you today and to chat today. Do you have few words for the hands that you want to leave to the French people that are listening to you today?
Few words for the French people. I would say, if I knew French today, I'd target strictly the French market. It is so much easier than the English speaking market. You guys have it so good, and you guys have great buying power. So please go target some affiliate keywords in the French market, because I can't. You guys can absolutely kill it there. The SERPs are so much less competitive than the English queries. You guys have it so easy. Please go out and make some money. You guys have no excuses. Yeah.
Thank you for all the motivation, and thank you all. And have a good day. Bye.
All right, take it easy.